What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, just as I predicted and told you guys, former IBF welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Special K Kell Brook, he takes on his biggest rival, fellow countryman, multi-division world champion, superstar boxer Amir King Kong, in a long, anticipated, waited showdown. Okay, and just as I predicted, Kell Brook, he stops Amir Khan in the 6th round, just as I told you guys he was going to do. Okay, Amir Khan was holding on for dear life. Kell Brook is now 40 wins, 3 losses, no draws, 28 big wins by way of knockout. 3 times in his career he was knocked out. 35 years of age, 5'9" with a 69-inch arm reach. Okay, so with that said, Amir Khan, is chinny. He's now 34 wins, 6 losses, no draws, 21 wins by way of knockout. He is five times in his career he was knocked out. 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 71-inch arm reach. Okay, I told you guys that Amir Khan has the boxing ability, he has the hand speed, he has the skill set, he has the talent, but Amir Khan doesn't have the discipline. Okay, he has the foot speed. He's very good pure boxer. Good jab. Puts combinations together beautifully. But Amir Khan, he lacks discipline. Okay, he always wants to exchange, and he has the biggest weakness. And one can make a case for the weakest chin in the sport of boxing history. Okay, Amir Khan, for top level fighters, Amir Khan gets touched. The wind blows on Amir Khan too tough. And Amir Khan his legs start to wobble, okay? And in the very first round, this was very evident. He got hit with an overhand right hand, and his legs went. And from that moment on, for the rest of the fight, Amir Khan has shown the vulnerability that his chin always deceives him. But yet, Amir Khan, he can't help himself but to look to a trade with his opponents, okay? He always wants to get into action-packed fights, but his chin is not built to be in those types of fights. His chin is built to be, a pure boxer. Move around, avoid the fighters, okay? Avoid your opponents. Use your range. Control the pace of the fight. Control the distance of the fight. Not allow your opponent to get on the inside. Not allow your glaring weakness to show up often and early in fights. But he can't help himself. He loves to exchange, okay? He should learn like Vladimir Klitschko, former heavyweight reigning world champion, Hall of Fame superstar, iconic boxer Vladimir Klitschko, who always had and shown to have a very weak chin. Every time Vladimir Klitschko's chin got touched, he started to dance. He started to show weakness. He started to show that he was getting dropped. His legs wasn't sturdy. But Vladimir Klitschko, he adopted the style of, once he got on the inside, or you got physical with him on the inside, Vladimir Klitschko will hold you, lean on you, wait for the referee to come and break you up. And then he would, then control the distance and the pace of the fight again, make you restart, okay? That's the way he learned to protect his chin and hide his chin, okay? Because he have a very weak chin, just like Amir Khan. But Amir Khan, he doesn't do that. When you start to exchange with him on the inside, he starts to exchange with you. He starts to let his hands go, okay? He just simply cannot help himself. He wants to trade. He wants to be in action-packed fights. He wants to get back. Every time you hit him, he wants to hit you back, okay? Opposed to just being a pure boxer, just capitalizing on his strength, fighting to his strength. He always wants to give up his advantages to get in fights where he wants to essentially look like he wants to prove a point. This is a fight that Amir Khan has been avoiding for quite some time. It was being mentioned since 2015. Kell Brook has been calling him out for all these years. Amir Khan was avoiding the fight. He did everything in his power and his will not to take this fight with Kell Brook. And he waited this long, 7 years later. Every year we was talking about Khan and Brook. And finally it came to fruition. And they're 35 years old. Both had already now been stopped and knocked out and suffered injuries. Kell Brook broke his orbital bone against Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Then he broke it again in his immediate second fight 9 months later against Errol the True Spence Jr. And then he was knocked out by Terrence Bud Crawford with a jab. Amir Khan, needless to say, he was knocked out by Brettis Prescott. He was knocked out by Danny Garcia. He was brutally knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. He was getting knockdowns in other fights. Chris Algieri knocked him down. Samuel Vargas knocked him down. Amir Khan is always shown to be feather-chinned, okay? And once again, it showed up on the grandstand. Immediately in the first round, his hand speed showed up. His boxing ability was showing up. His foot speed, he was utilizing the ring, moving around the ring. That showed up. But once again, as I told everybody, Amir Khan, he got with Brian McIntyre, with Terrence Bud Crawford, and he was training with them. But I told you, Amir Khan could train with whomever he wants. The greatest trainers, the greatest strength and condition coaches in the history of the sport of boxing. They cannot fix the mindset of Amir Khan. They cannot adjust Amir Khan having a weak chin. And that weak chin is always going to show up on the big stage, especially because of the mindset of Amir Khan wanting to get in there and always trade with his opponents, okay? He always, once he gets touched, it's like he gets embarrassed. He gets hit, his legs start to go, he's dancing around the ring, he either falls or he's on wobbly legs, and he wants to give it back, okay? Instead of just holding on, getting his legs back under him. No, he never allows himself to get resettled, okay? He never allows his legs to get back strong and get back underneath him. So for the rest of the duration of the fight, Khan, he shows a lot of heart. He shows that he'll mix it up. But at the end of the day, Amir Khan just has that glaring weakness, and he doesn't know how to defend it. So with that said, Kell Brook, as I told you guys, this fight was going to the 6th round, and Kell Brook was going to stop in the 6th round, and that's exactly what took place, okay? Now, there's talks that we could possibly see Kell Brook face off against former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, okay? We know that Keith Thurman and Kell Brook was a fight that was being talked about way back when, okay? When after Kell Brook had beat former 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter. He beat Sean Porter August of 2014, okay, and he won the IBF title from Sean Porter. That's when he was calling out, he at that point in time, Kell Brook was calling out, Amir Khan, and he was calling out Keith Thurman, okay, because Keith Thurman was seen as the two faces of the welterweight division was Kell Brook and Keith Thurman, okay, and he was calling out Keith Thurman at that point in time. Keith Thurman wasn't willing to oblige, so he was looking to unify against Keith Thurman in a massive welterweight showdown. They was considered the two best welterweights in the world, but Keith Thurman wasn't willing to oblige him, okay. We know that Keith Thurman, around that time, Keith Thurman, he fought the likes of guys like Julio Diaz, Leonard Bundu, Robert Guerrero, Luis Colazo. These are the guys he was fighting, and he ended up fighting Sean Porter as well. And then he fought a unification bout with Danny Garcia. But Keith Thurman, he was going on hiatuses. Errol Spence started calling him out after Errol Spence beat Kell Brook for the IBF title. He picked up the belt. Then he started calling out Keith Thurman. And, Keith Thurman wasn't willing to oblige. Keith Thurman is now 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 69-inch arm reach, okay? This would make for an interesting fight. I don't know, how big the fight will be here in the States. In the UK, it would be a huge fight, but Keith Thurman is looking to get back in a title contention. Keith Thurman is looking to pick up a title. Who knows what direction Kell Brook goes in, but that would be a good fight for Keith Thurman. I think that Keith Thurman needs another, I don't want to say tune-up fight, because Kell Brook is not a tune-up fight, but another active fight, another step-up fight from his comeback fight after 2.5-year layoff, facing off against WBA regular world champion Mexican star boxer at junior welterweight Mario Barrios, in which he won a unanimous decision over Mario Barrios. But he showed vulnerabilities in that fight. Keith Thurman has fought 3 times in 5 years, so he's not the most active guy. Kell Brook is 35, Keith Thurman is 33, going on 34. So it would be a huge fight for Keith Thurman, to stay active, stay busy, and it's a fight, 2 names that people have wanted to see, okay? So that name has started to surface. It seems like a fair, interesting fight for Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. I personally think that Keith Thurman wins that fight against Kell Brook. He's far more fresh. He has a lot more power than Amir Khan. Now, Keith Thurman's weak to the body, but You know, it's a stretch trying to get to his body, okay? Because Kell Brook doesn't have the fastest feet or the fastest hands. He has good timing. But Keith Thurman, his vulnerability, again, is to the body. So you have to dig down. And to go to his body, you leave yourself open. And Kell Brook has shown injuries, you know, to the eyes, both orbital bones. So I don't know how that will hold up against Keith Thurman. It held up against Amir Khan. But, you know, Amir Khan is not the biggest puncher. He's not the puncher that Keith Thurman is. So that would be an interesting fight. Stay busy fight for both guys. You know, earn a big paycheck and then see what happens in the future. But I know Keith Thurman, he's waiting on a contract from undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Terrence Bud Crawford, who's widely considered to be the best fighter in the world. So he's looking to get a title, you know, pick up a belt and then move on. So we got to see how this unfolds and plays out. But as I told you guys, the long-awaited showdown between Kell Brook and Amir Khan took place, and Kell Brook, just like I told you guys, is going to get a 6-round stoppage victory over Amir Khan, and that's exactly what happened. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.